Welcome to Underqualified and Over It. I'm your host, Cindy, and joining me as always is Alice.
Hi.
In this podcast, we are over opinionated and unfortunately allowed to talk. So sit back, lower your expectations, and let's get into it.
I feel like that's the opening for quite a lot of our podcasts at the minute. It's just,
Yeah. Well, first of all, I need to apologize if we have any viewers. I need to apologize for the shit quality that I've had on my PNG tuber for I think it was only 2 episodes, so hopefully nobody noticed. But if you did notice, I apologize. I did fix my settings so I don't look like a garbled mess of nothing, and you can see the true beauty of the avatar she has created for me. But yeah, okay, my bad. I'm not used to this. This is new to me. Okay, everybody, calm down. It's gonna be fine. Hey guys, so a little bit of a trigger warning on this one. In this episode, we talk a lot about nutrition, weight loss, unhealthy eating, and eating disorders. So if any of that's going to be a bother to you, then go ahead and take a break from this one, and we'll see you next week. How are you?
I'm good. I am so excited to be starting my job. I've got 2 weeks until my settling in day is what they call it, and I love that. It just feels so warm and welcoming. A lot of places at the minute are doing the whole, oh, we're a family, and I avoid them like the plague. Because the thing is, with a family, you have your favorite child or children, and most of the time, they're already with you.
Yeah.
And then the new kid that comes around, it's like, then what happens is, oh, you're nicer, you're like the nice new shiny toy. Where they'll be like, oh yeah, we're gonna train you and we're gonna give you attention and all of that for all of 3 months while you're on your probation, and then as soon as your probation period finishes, they're just like, yeah, we don't care about you anymore, because we have staff members that have been here for however many months or years, and we care about them more, blah 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 blah, and then they wonder why their turnover rate is shocking.
Yeah, 150%.
It's like, oh no, it can't be me. I'm not the reason. Yeah, 95% of the time, the reason why people leave and you have a high turnover rate is because you're a crappy ass manager.
Yeah, which, that's one of the things you were telling me about the interview process, was that this guy, it felt more like a conversation.
Yeah.
And that sticks out to me because a lot of the time you have people either on one side of the spectrum where they're never hiring anybody, so they don't know how to interview people. So they ask questions off a clipboard because they don't know how to have a conversation like a human. Or you have the other end of the spectrum where they've interviewed so many people where it's just, all right, what doesn't fit, all right, then we'll say no to you. Whereas this guy seems to be kind of in the middle, where he has been hiring enough people to know how to have a conversation, know what to look out for and things like that. But he's also not hiring so many people that he's looking through nitpicking people.
Yeah.
So it seems like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, because the reason for any turnover that happens within this company that I'm going to work for, apparently, is because it's not because they've left the company, it is because they've moved up in the company and they now need to fill somebody in at the bottom, which that's absolutely fine by me. And the opportunities for moving to different departments and stuff that are available. So when you start at this company, you basically start on the tills or on doing stock and stuff like that, which is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be helping keep areas tidy and stuff like that, and helping customers find things. And then hopefully I'll be trained up on the till and all of that, so that when it gets busy, I can hop on the till and help. And then when you show your initiative and stuff like that within the company, they will be like, oh, okay, cool. So what really interests you in other areas of the company? And I could say, well, I've already told him that I'm into content creation and stuff like that. So advertisement really interests me. So I could, like, maybe in the next like few years, I could be working on the adverts that go on the TV and the stuff like on the radio and Facebook posts and stuff like that. You never know.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly, like, having an upwards trajectory within a company is really good. Another thing that you were talking about was there's potential of maybe moving from one location to another, which
Yeah.
I'm hopeful for because I have plans for you to move up here. But, we'll just
Yeah.
cross that bridge when it comes because
Yeah.
I want you to move up to Scotland because I want you to be closer so that I can go hang out at your house.
True. And so that I can come hang out with you.
They can start coming to the gym with me. We can start hanging
Yeah,
out.
and then
IRL.
also, like, Virus can come hang out and, like, make friends with Kenny.
Yeah, go to the Warhammer store and get Virus into
Yeah.
Warhammer.
Yeah, get Virus into Warhammer. Yeah.
We'll have to find a better
really
like games place where they're doing like D&D and stuff.
Yeah. Or get Virus into D&D and also get Virus into maybe Magic the Gathering as well.
You played Magic for the first time the other day. How did that go?
I did, right. So I kind of cheesed it a little bit because they went a little bit kind on me. So I didn't realize that I actually had 2 more cards in the deck than I should have done for a commander deck.
So you're playing commander and you had 102 cards,
commander.
not 100. Okay.
Yeah. So
Oops.
they and also one of the cards that I had happened to not have any of the colors that I needed in the deck.
Oops.
And that happened to be the Mothman.
Oh.
And they allowed me to play Mothman, and I beasted them mainly because of his rads. So basically, every time everybody plays a round, like their turn, they have to take a card off of their deck, look at it. If it's a land, they don't do anything, and they put that card into their graveyard. But if it's any other, like it's a soldier or whatever, or it's a creature, whatever, they also put that into a graveyard, but they take off their rad counter.
Oh.
So if it's a land, they keep the rad counter.
Right.
Until it's my turn again and I hit them again with the rads, and then the rad counter goes up. But if it's a creature, they get rid of it, I believe. They get rid of the rads.
Goes, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the rad counter goes down.
It's actually crazy to me that they allowed you to play that when you didn't even have the mana for it.
Yeah, it's because I was just learning how to play the game. So on the first game that I played with Mothman and I won. On the second game, I went, no, don't worry about it. Number one, I want to make sure I've got enough cards in my deck for actually playing Commander, because I haven't counted them. And number two, I'll take Mothman out. So I counted them up, and then I realized I had an extra one apart from Mothman. So I took that one out. And then recounted to make sure that I had 99 in the deck. Then I had my commander for my unit, and then I had my tokens as well, because you don't count the tokens.
Right. Well, and we were trying to get you into Magic the Gathering while you're up here, but we got distracted with other stuff. So
yeah, we got distracted.
My husband wound up just giving you one of the decks he had built. Yeah. And did it play well for you?
It did, yeah. I need to learn what all of the cards do so that I can like figure it out, because I hadn't realized that I got to a point where I could have brought out Caesar and then started because what I can do with Caesar is I can sacrifice a lower card, like a 1/1 card, and then I get to draw some more cards, And then also, I can't remember what it's called, but it's something helmet. I think it's like the shock
Okay.
helmet or something. That will allow me I think if it's on a creature that then gets sacrificed and it gets taken off of the creature, because you keep your equipment, even if your creature dies, and it's equipped. You then take some more you draw more cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd got to the point where I'd had like 2 cards in my hand. And I was like, "Oh no, what am I doing?" And yeah, I could have brought Caesar to the table, and I didn't. If I'd have brought Caesar to the table and done what I was supposed to do with him, I probably could have won that round. But nah. The other guy had too many flying types.
Yeah.
But I had like 3 different dudes on my field that had range, which means that I can block them.
Yeah.
Which is really good. And
Kenny probably built that in specifically because I had an entire flying deck. And he was playing a deck that had no cards with reach whatsoever. And so I was just slaughtering him because he couldn't defend anything because all of my characters were flying. And he's like, all right. So he's learned the lesson of now having characters in his decks that have reach because he understands that it's a deficit against a primarily flying deck. So
yeah, everybody at the shop was like, "Oh my god, you have Mothman! Build a Mothman deck." And then like half of them were like, "Mothman deck." Half of them were like, "Don't play a Mothman deck. You will get destroyed." I was like, "Yeah, but rads, I will kill you all." And then it was like, "Yeah, but you're gonna find out that if you turn up with a Mothman deck and nobody's gonna want to play with you." I was like, "Oh, okay."
No, that's fair.
Fairs.
You have it on reserve. Yeah,
apparently
it's
the Mothman deck is so OP. Yeah. But like I'd have to get more cards that were the right color anyway to build a Mothman deck, and I'd have to get in touch with like my my sources to get the rest of the Fallout stuff anyway. Which I'm gonna eventually, but it's gonna cost me like £200 per deck.
Why?
Ish.
Jeez.
I
Is that
feel
what
like,
they're going for?
I believe. Hang on, let me have a look. Let me check.
Yeah, because that sounds incredibly expensive for a commander deck.
I know that at least one of the one of the recently vaulted ones are going for 200 quid, which is stupid. And vaulted, for anybody who isn't of the collector's variety, it means that they've decided to not make any more of that specific brand.
Yeah, once they get vaulted, their value goes up because there's going to be no more printings.
So Scrappy Survivors, which has the green ones that I need, so I could blend some of the Scrappy Survivors stuff with, if the other one's cheap enough, that one's 50 quid.
Right. Okay, that sounds about more of what I was thinking for a deck.
Yeah, and then the other one that has the blue is about 40 quid. Or 60 quid at Amazon. Yeah, so if I bought the what's it called? The science deck and the Scrappy Commander, the Scrappy Survivor deck, for £70 and £50, then that would be enough probably enough for me to make up a Mothman deck.
Yeah.
Because I've already got Mothman. I'd have a duplicate Mothman if I went for the mutant one.
Well, welcome to the world of Magic the Gathering. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah, it's great. Oh no, well I'd technically have 3 because I would have the Wise Mothman commander card and the Wise Mothman creature as well. I'd have 2 of the creature.
I don't think you're allowed to put duplicates in your deck.
No, you're not. The only
Yeah.
ones that you're allowed to have as duplicates is your commander,
Mm-hmm.
because you can just bring that out as a regular creature rather than thingy. And that,
Yeah.
because that's in your, so you've got like the rainbow foil or the rainbow foil etched display commander, and that's your commander. So if you bring out the rainbow foil, that's just as a creature rather than it being played as your commander. Then
I think if you're not allowed to have two cards other than lands, you're not allowed to have two cards that have the same title.
oh well, that's strange because those commander decks have two of that card. It's just one's a display commander.
Yeah, that's probably just a
And that classes as 100 cards.
I don't know. You'll have to take it in and talk to somebody. But I was going to say, like,
99 cards and then your commander.
Yeah, I would take it in and ask, since you have somewhere to go and play. Like, talk to them about it. But
well, yeah, I'll take it in anyway because I've got 2 Caesars then.
Yeah.
As well. So yeah, I better ask.
That's probably why you had an extra card in there, other than the Mothman.
Maybe. Okay.
Because one of them is supposed to be just your commander, and then the other one is like, if you're using a different commander, you use the creature. Would be my assumption, but I would check with them because they would know better than me. Because I've played Magic, but I'm not like the.
Oh no, I can't get this Scrappy Survivors at $49.99 because it's sold out.
The
only other one is $115.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, it is, but it's because I didn't get in to Magic the Gathering. Well, I couldn't buy any Magic the Gathering when it came out because I was skint. Because I want the Doctor Who ones as well. If actually, to be quite honest, if I get all 4 of them, it's £260, which, to be fair, is probably the best deal I'm going to get on them.
But that you're not talking about one deck. You're talking about like 4.
4. All 4 commander decks of Doctor Who. If I order those, I can get them for £260.70.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I thought you were saying like £200 for like one deck, and I was like, Jesus.
No, but those guys are a hot commodity as well.
Yeah, that's about £65 per deck.
They're really popular. Yeah. But to be honest, I don't mind buying that for the Doctor Who ones. If I could find, well, I don't even need all 4 of the
I was gonna
Fallout ones because I only need 1.
And it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't even only have to be primarily Fallout. You can mix it with other things. Like, it's not like you only can do Fallout stuff.
No, but I prefer to keep things with other things that are alike.
Hey, listen, it's your money.
I would much rather. I would much rather have the horse set. Thank you.
Speaking of money and your job and everything, you were saying. So kind of moving on to today's subject, we're talking about working out, nutrition, blah, 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 whatever, because I started going back to the gym and you had a realization right before we started filming that almost made you kind of like get emotional there for a second. So why don't you share with the class?
Yeah, it did. So I used to do aerial hoop and trapeze as my workout regime. And I have just realized that for the first time in a very, very long time, I will be able to go back to do that. And I'll probably start off doing it every other week because I think it's only on Mondays. Okay. And on one Monday, on 2 Mondays every month, I do Call of Cthulhu. So then on the other Monday, it'll probably be I'll go and do the aerial hoop at the place that's nearby. And what I'll do is I think it's £10 per session, but I can pay for a certain amount of sessions. up
Mm-hmm.
front and then use them.
Oh, okay, that's nice. But so you can pay for a bunch of classes and
Yeah.
then like just basically use those whenever.
Yeah, so I think as long as I use them within 3 months,
Okay.
then yeah. So I think it's like, and it works out cheaper as well. So I think it's like £80 for 10 lessons
Okay.
rather than £100 per 10 lessons when you're paying on the door. So yeah, if I pay for £80, I get an extra 2 lessons on top because I've bought a bunch of them,
Yeah.
which is really, really good. So I'm gonna look into that, and probably I'll start up that probably in September when you get back.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not gonna have I've got other things that I need to pay for and get
Get
some
squared away.
savings and
Yeah.
stuff like that and get squared away.
You need to save
next
up
couple of
because you're
months.
going to move to Scotland eventually. Come be with me.
And I've got to pay for all of these expensive like things for the wedding and all of that good stuff. So I can probably save up and get somebody on Etsy to make me my wings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm going to be a fairy.
She was a fairy.
Because
Well,
I
speaking
can.
speaking of the wedding, so the main reason I've started kind of like getting back in the gym was because I needed something to motivate me to start going back into the gym. And so, being your matron of honor, I have been planning your bachelorette, and we've been talking a lot about what we want to do and what like themes we want to have. And I've been taking into consideration like what a night out, what you would have fun doing. And one of the ideas that surfaced was all of your bridesmaids dressing up as your book boyfriends from all of the romances you read.
Yep.
So.
Oh, there'll be 2 Bat Boys then.
Oh, will there?
Yeah. Well, one of them will have horns, but yeah, because we're going to have a Beleth.
We are going to have a Belette. It would be,
We're
honestly, it would be
Beleth.
so fucking funny if your mom dressed up as Belette. That would be so fucking funny. Anyway. But from this conversation, I told you I would be dressing up as Cassian, which then got me to thinking I need to be in Cassian shape by the time of your bachelorette, which is in April. So I have just under a year to get as bulky as possible. And I have some ideas on the costuming and everything, but part of the costuming is I need to be fucking ripped. So I've been going to the gym, and I've been, for the first time in my life, like actually taking notes on where I'm at, what workouts I'm doing. I have like a whole gym plan and everything. And my diet, I have been trying to meet my macros, which has been a pain in my ass because I have never tracked, like, I'm not going to say I've never tracked calories like this before because obviously I have. But trying to get to my macros goal, I think today I was telling you, like, I was at 64 grams of protein. I need to get that bitch up to like 190. I was like, you know how many eggs I would have to eat? I would have to cook and eat over a dozen eggs to meet my protein goal, which is just not realistic.
Here's the conversation that we had earlier. Picture of all of the things that she needs to do, like with her goals and stuff. These are my daily goals. I sent her a GIF. I like your funny words, Magic Man. She then sent me another picture with goals and food and excerpt and all of that sort of stuff. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, This is what I did yesterday. Are you staring at me because you don't understand? Because this is all on Snapchat, and on Snapchat, when you're reading it, your little person is like peeking at the bottom of the screen, and that's what my person was doing. And then I sent her a video of me like putting my hand over my head and going meow because it all went over my head. And then she proceeds to then describe all of the things. I'm like, okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. And then she's like, right, cool, I'll leave it there. And then
because I was going to continue to explain it more.
And then at that point, we stopped talking for like maybe half an hour.
Yeah.
Ish.
Because we're always up in each other's business.
I had the phone call to say that I'd got my job. And then I tried to ring her on Snapchat, and I don't know what happened there because I was like really excited, and she was like one of the first people that I wanted to tell, and I was like, and then I was like, "Yo, I'm in our voice chat. Get in here." And she's like, "Okay, give me a sec." And then we continued to have a chat. And then she described everything again because I didn't understand any of it. It was like, yeah, definite. I like your funny word, Magic Man, because
I feel like it's still a little bit that way. Because it's honestly, it feels that way a little bit to me as well. Because I'm like, so I'm basically what in the bodybuilding community, I would consider this like my bulking season. Like I'm just trying to pack on as much muscle as possible. So high carbs, high protein, low fat. But then once I start getting closer to my cutting season, I have to cut a lot of carbs out. Because that's what creates the fluff.
Right.
I don't know if that's accurate or not. I'm just bullshitting my way along this. I just know that I need to do high protein to like try and pack on muscle because I'm going for a Cassian meets Rhea Ripley look as close to that as I can. And I felt very accomplished when I went to the gym yesterday because I was waiting on the chest press machine and there was this guy on it and he was struggling. He was struggling on it. And I sat down on that machine. I was going to fix the weights to something. And I was like, you know what? Let's just try it. Let's see what this guy was struggling with. And I did it. And I was able to do a couple of full sets with it. And I was like, I was really proud of myself for being able to do that many sets with it. But obviously this guy is struggling. He's probably on his last set. So he's like really pushing hard. He could have done like 5 or 6 sets at this way. I have no idea. But I felt very accomplished because I was like, I did a boy weight and I didn't have to change anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gym that I've started going to, because it's the same company. I'm still going to like, you know, the same gym, but it's just a different location. And I actually am really enjoying this gym so far. Because one, it's closer, but 2, it's all on one level, which is much nicer than having to, especially on leg day, having to climb up the stairs to go to the locker room and things like that. I will say it was kind of funny because when I went to go shower at the end of the night, after I finished my workout, I didn't see that anyone was cleaning or anything like that. Turns out here in the UK, it's very common for a male staff member to go into the women's locker room to clean if they need to. Bathrooms in castles are the same way. Like they have mixed gender people coming in to do a lot of the maintenance. Didn't know he was in there. I go into the shower and I just start showering because fuck it, whatever. He was locked in there the entire time I was showering and I'm taking my sweet ass time. I'm like, got all of my fancy soaps. I got my face wash. I've got, you know, shampoo, conditioner. I'm doing the whole fucking thing. Only to find out as I'm getting out of the shower, I'm fully dressed and everything. I'm getting out of the shower and this lady is looking at me and she looks into the other side of the locker room. It's like, oh, it's okay. She's dressed. And I'm like, what? And this guy is like, oh, okay, good. I just was in here, you know, I've just been in here staring at the wall. I'm like, oh, that's fine. You know, it doesn't bother me. You know, just like you're nuisance just here for the night, whatever. But he was very kind about it. He was very cool about it. So that was funny. But yeah, it's been an adventure trying to I keep track of everything. And one of the things that I've been really wanting to keep track of that I know that I have difficulty with because of my own dietary issues in the past is calorie counting. Can be very triggering and difficult for me personally because of when I was in the military and all sorts of other fun stuff. But yeah, so I wanted to kind of give you the floor because you're talking about something kind of adjacent to that.
Yeah. So I don't really have a problem with calorie counting. Mostly due to the fact of for a very long time I was classed as what is known as clinically anorexic.
Okay.
So I didn't have it wasn't because I had what's it called?
An eating disorder?
It's I didn't have the eating disorder anorexia. I was just it's called it's got a word for it. It's anorexia something or other. The what I was. But basically, so I keep having to get tested. I keep having to go and get blood tests to check out my thyroid because I have hypothyroidism. And that makes my metabolism very, very high. And when I was younger, especially, I was eating all of the right amounts of food for somebody my age. But my metabolism was so fast and high that I was burning off all of the stuff and not realizing it with what I was doing every single day. So walking to school, walking to go and get the train and all of that and the bus, and then walking around school and then coming home the same way. I was and obviously doing PE and all of that stuff. I was burning off all of the stuff that I needed, and we didn't realize that until Mum just thought, oh, she's just skinny. She's just skinny for her age. And it wasn't until I was in college really that I started having body dysmorphia. So I thought that I was fatter than I actually was.
Yeah.
So but it's all because my mum had just said, oh, that's normal for you. That's normal for your height and your age and all of this. And then when I grew a bit, because I managed to put some inches on in the height variety,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sure I've put on weight. I'm heavier than I should be. This, that, and the other. I should be skinnier. This, that, and the other. And I still have it now. And this was brought up. This sort of conversation was brought up because the other day I was out with my mum and dad, and I decided to wear a dress. Usually, I'm not comfortable in dresses. It takes quite a lot for me to actually go out in a dress. And I decided, oh, it's really hot, so I'm gonna put a dress on, and I put my nice little skater dress that I've got on. And I was fairly bloated because I just finished my secondary period that I've been getting recently.
Yeah.
I'd finished that earlier that day, so I still had a bit of the period bloatiness.
Yeah.
But I still felt good going out in the dress at that point of going out. And then I chugged an entire refreshing drink thing from Costa, and I was like, oh yeah, this is super good because it's really hot. And then we were walking around the shops a little bit, and then my dad comes over and taps my stomach area, and he's like, oh, what's this? And I'm there really?
Yeah.
What the hell?
I told
I've
you
actually
what my
had the
reaction was.
yeah, because my body dysmorphia, like thinking that I'm heavier than I am. Any time that I have like any bloating, I'm more comfortable wearing baggy stuff so that my body doesn't show because of that bloating. But the thing is as well is, number one, I probably needed to piss because I'd had a like fucking
Yeah.
drink not 20 minutes beforehand and it had gone through my system kind of thing, and it was basically water. I was hydrated as
Mhm.
fuck, man. And number two, I was still bloated from period stuff. And
Yeah.
I just felt comfortable enough in that outfit to go out.
Mhm.
And it really like put me back into like, oh, maybe I am a bit heavier than I should be. But the thing is, we checked when I was up at
Yeah.
yours because you have a weigh-in scale. So I for a very long time avoided weigh-in scales because that made
Mhm.
things worse. Because what happened is because I felt like I was heavier than I was, I'd check on the scales and then I was like, oh no, I'm still underweight. I should be putting more like weight on. But then I'd look in the mirror and then I'd be like, oh no, I'm fat. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna like then I ended up being the whole thing of, oh, I'm actually gonna cut down on like all of the snacks that I eat and stuff like that. So I did. But because of the way that my metabolism is, I need to have those snacks so that I can actually put the weight on properly. Because
Yeah.
otherwise I'm just not it doesn't matter if I like go on like more protein or calories and stuff like that, like the like healthy fats and stuff like that. It just does not work because my metabolism is
Yeah.
just like, I'm in overdrive. The only thing that really helps is like sugar, to be
Yeah.
honest,
Yeah.
because that's just the way that my metabolism is. But I'm a healthy weight at like 8.5 stone now, which is what 115 point something
Yeah.
pounds.
Pounds. Yeah.
And we looked it up, and that's basically what I should be at the moment. But I always like when I'm sat down and like my weight gets distributed on my
Mhm.
legs, I always think that my thighs are fucking huge.
Mm.
But the
Yeah.
thing is, that's what's supposed to be normal for my height and my weight. That's what
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be looking like. But I still have that problem where I feel fat, and it doesn't help when somebody comes over and goes, "Oh, what's this then?"
Yeah. No, I would have I would have let's just say you're probably happy I wasn't there at that moment
Yeah.
because you have a tendency to hold back, whereas I do not hold
Mhm.
back. And I probably would have said some things. I would have been disinvited from the wedding. Let's just put it that way.
Probably.
Uh,
But that's another thing that I'm excited about getting back into aerial hoop is the fact of where my weight is sitting right now on my body is where I
mhm.
don't want it to be sitting. So it's sat
Yeah.
in the muffin top area, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, muffin top, it's not bad to have. And also I also have endometriosis. So that
Mhm.
means that my uterus is positioned strange. So that
Mhm.
means that my intestines get pushed out in the
Mhm.
front of me as well.
Yeah.
So that area isn't even just fat.
Yeah.
It's my
No, it's
intestines being
organs.
pushed forwards. It's organs,
It's
dude.
literally
Um
organs. Yeah.
and I know that that's the reason why I have that area in that area and why I
Mhm.
have that little protruding area. And it's mostly because that's where the uterus is being a dick. Because that's where
Yeah.
it sits. And there's
Yeah.
nothing I can do about it. And it's fine.
Well,
But what will help is with the aerial hoop, it's a lot of like stuff to do with like your core muscles.
yeah.
So helping fit my core muscles into the place that they need to be via training my core muscles is going to be so much better. And also it's a lot of leg and arm work as well, because
Mhm.
you obviously like you're swinging and you're holding yourself up by your legs. My legs are gonna hate me for at least 3 weeks. I will be heavily bruised.
Yeah.
Which, to be quite honest, once I get back into doing it, I know that like on YouTube we have a community feed, so
Mhm.
I will probably post some like pictures of like my progress on the hoop and stuff like that, and maybe put like a couple of shorts up to show you what I'm doing on the hoop
Yeah.
and show you what my progress of my bruises are.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so you have the basically the opposite problem. So my sister has the same issue
Mm,
with not gaining weight or super high metabolism. And the amount of calories that you have to take in just to maintain weight is insane. And it's the other side of the coin that people who struggle with like my side of the coin they don't really think about um because like there's always that mindset of god I wish I could struggle putting on weight, and it's like you really don't. You really
no.
don't. As the
Yeah.
grass is greener on the other side, because somebody who has struggles to lose weight and somebody who struggles to put on weight, it's just as mind absorbing as the other.
Yeah.
When I was in the military, I had a lot of issues with because I wasn't able to do a lot of the workouts once I got injured. There was a lot of stigma against me, and I had to go do weigh-ins, and I had to go do tapings, and I had to go do all these different things that made me think that I was overweight because of, you know, I couldn't be over such and such amount,
Yeah.
because of the way that it was structured and dictated. And we had people who they would have different body compositions, right?
Hmm.
So somebody who is of African descent versus somebody who's of Swedish descent versus somebody who's of Samoan descent are
Hmm.
all going to have very different body compositions.
Yeah.
So, but you can have somebody like we had a guy who he was Samoan and he very stocky build. He was at his height and weight. They were saying, "Oh, you're overweight," when in reality, everything on his body was muscle.
Yeah.
But he didn't pass the tapings,
Yeah.
so he was then forced to basically starve himself in order to make tape and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like that stuff will mess with your mind. And I remember, like, for a long time, I would freak out if I ate more than 400 calories.
Hmm.
And I was doing everything in my power to lose weight. And it was not healthy. And I still have health issues from that time period in my life. Like,
Yeah.
just a lot of like reoccurring things that come up. And so, with being back on a nutrition diary and like really focusing on my macros and stuff, I am struggling to not fall back into that mindset too
Hmm.
hard. A lot of the things that I've been focused on in the past is losing weight, getting the number
Yeah.
down, getting the number on the scale down, where I think my mindset has changed now to recompositioning my
Hmm.
body and getting muscle where I want it, getting, my resting heart rate to be higher, or resting metabolism rate to be a little bit
Hmm.
higher by working the muscles and things like that. I
Yeah.
understand a lot more about working out and nutrition than I did back then. But even still, it's hard when you have that kind of like body dysmorphia or
Hmm.
eating disorders to really like break yourself out of it. And so that's something that I have to be very, very careful with, not not like going super hardcore into the I can never have a chocolate piece of chocolate cake or
Yeah.
blah 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 whatever, because I have been that person before and I've had a panic attack over eating a cookie. Like I've
Mm.
been there and it is so hard, and I've made so much progress in my relationship with food. I mean, you look at everything that I'm doing with
Oh,
food,
yeah.
like all the content creation, always making food, always making other people food, enjoying it. And now to be, I'm finally not scared of bread and I'm not scared of rice,
Hmm.
like, which is a huge step for me in the right direction.
Mm.
But now to have to like tone back serving sizes and tone
Yeah.
back, because not only am I working on eating things that are nutritious and high protein, but I'm also focusing on being in a calorie deficit to get rid of the fat storage that I do
Hmm.
have. And not even get rid of it necessarily, but like reposition it into something
Yeah.
more useful like muscle. And
Yeah.
getting that mindset to completely shift has taken me a decade to do.
Mm.
Like
I think,
literally, it's been a decade of trial and error to get to something healthy.
yeah. I think another thing that didn't help me when I was younger as well, like when I lived with my mum was always trying to lose weight.
Yeah.
So it was a case of when we went food shopping, I was like, "Oh, can I put like some crisps in the cart? Can I put some like cola in the cart? Can I do this? Can I have that? Can I have the other?" And she's like, "No, we're gonna eat healthy now. So
Hmm.
we're all eating what's on my diet."
Yeah.
So I ended up eating a lot of food that was like made for losing weight.
Yeah.
So I ended up eating the complete wrong thing for me. And
Yeah.
then whenever I had like any pocket money or anything, like I had really bad problems with the fact of like when we didn't have, and I still have it now. Um, so I'll get headaches and stuff. I know it's like one of those things where it's probably like a withdrawal from sugar and caffeine,
Hmm.
but I need both of those things to keep going, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, so when I don't have like anything sugary or something like that for a good while, I have like headaches and all of that sort of stuff, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
Um, so I drink a lot of like sweet tea or Coca-Cola. And then I've also got the problem now with the fact of like there's the sugar tax.
Hmm.
Like like they're saying, "Oh, sugar's really bad for you." Yeah, but sugar's the thing that's keeping me alive
Mm.
because it's one of the one things that my metabolism can't break down fast
Yeah.
because of how sugar works in the body, because sugar is the main thing of putting like a big amounts of fat on, and I don't have that.
Mm. Yeah.
So like, and also I'm like, as you know, I'm allergic to aspartame.
Yeah.
So all of the things that are like sugar free, um most of them have that in it, and I have to be really careful because I will get like serious migraines with aspartame. I
Yeah.
don't have it with, I can't remember what it's called. It's something else. But anyway, there or a sulfamate, is it called?
It's one of the like
Yeah,
sweeteners, right?
like yeah. So that I can have. So that is in all of the sugar-free Monster energy drinks.
Hmm.
And I've recently found out that I can have that, and I really enjoy those because I need the caffeine.
The
Because obviously
stevia stuff.
yeah, because obviously like the metabolism like burns off everything, and it makes me like quite tired. But also having ADHD, caffeine results in different um things for me.
So
So
it says here, um, uh, sucralose and stevia derived substances are used as
Hmm.
ingredients to sweeten. So it's probably sucralose or stevia that you're thinking of.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so the caffeine and like the nicotine is basically what I use to medicate the ADHD as
Mm,
well.
yeah.
Um, and that's another thing is a lot of people with ADHD and also I've got ADHD, autism, I'm hyperflexible, hypermobile, and hyperthyroidism. All of those come hand in hand a lot of
Hmm.
the time.
Yeah, and those
Um,
probably raise your BMR. And just like so when you're just at rest, it raises your metabolism
yeah,
rate, which is burning more because your body is having to work harder just day to day,
yeah,
which makes sense as well. I wonder if because you've been on new medication, that's been helping with the weight gain as well.
yeah, because it's
Um,
making me want to eat more, which
yeah,
is really good.
yeah,
Honestly, I'm so hungry all of the time at the minute. Whereas before, I wasn't hungry at all because I was eating and then the metabolism was burning it off. So I was getting all of the nutrients and everything around my body,
yeah,
but they were burning off too fast. But
yeah.
it wasn't the fact of like, but because of my brain knowing that I'd eaten and I'd eaten a big amount of food, it was like, oh
Hmm.
no, we've not we've eaten enough today because I was taught what portion sizes were. Whereas now
Yeah.
I'm going, nah, I'm going to have as much food on my plate as I possibly can. And I do. Sometimes there's like some left over. And then what I do is I chuck it in a box and then I put it in the fridge.
Hmm.
Like when
Yeah.
I'm full kind of thing. And that's what I've had to do. I have to like eat until I physically cannot eat anymore because
Yeah.
otherwise it just does not work. And what's helping with that is now eating rice, like rice,
Yeah.
pasta. Like I've always been a
Complex
pasta girl.
carbs.
I
Yeah.
love pasta so much. So I eat a lot of spaghetti.
Yeah.
But having the rice as well now has
Hmm.
been really, really good. And then obviously I have my sugary stuff. So with the new job, I can. That's another thing as well. I lost a lot of weight due to the fact of not being able to afford things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you get into the mindset of I can't afford to feed myself kind of thing,
Yeah.
and then you're starting to think of what can you eat, and then you start eating shite,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's not great
Well,
because you're thinking,
because
oh, I need to stretch the pennies and all of that.
right, and then
But
you spend so much energy doing that, then you
yeah,
kind of cut like everything else and you're like, "Okay, well, I'll just have this, that, and the other."
yeah,
And then you realize, "Oh, wait, I can't do that. I need to
yeah,
do yeah. No, it's definitely
yeah.
um
So
because
at the
it's like a
minute,
mental tax, isn't it? Just like
yeah,
having to constantly think about not only what can I afford, what can I eat, what is healthy, what, how can am I supposed to live as a person? And you do that for a while and you're
yeah,
able to maintain it, but then it takes such a mental toll on you that finally you're just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna eat nothing but sweets and crisps all day. And you're like, well, not only do I not have any money for anything else anymore, but also I feel like shit because I've been eating like
yeah,
shit because of the mental tax of having to try and focus on what I can eat that's
yeah.
healthy.
So now that I've got my new job, like for this month, well, this month I've got a £40 a week budget for like regular food. So that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We're getting
Hmm.
£40 worth of food every week. And
Yeah.
then I put £10 on for my snacks. That's £5 worth of snacks for me, and that's £5 worth of snacks for him. He'll go through his snacks within one day. I will go through my £5 worth of snacks in one week because I
Yeah.
make sure that because I'm one of those. I'm really like careful with rationing my snacks when I don't have a lot of them because of
Yeah.
being poor. Um, and then next month we're going up to £50 a week for the food shop. We're still sticking at £10 for the snacks, so that we can save a bit of money. And
Yeah.
then in August, we're going to be able to go up to £70 for a food shop, so I can get even more stuff, so I can get some like good breakfast items, proper good
Yeah.
breakfast items. And we'll be able to go back to having 3 meals a day, which is good
Yeah.
because we've been on 1 meal a day
Yeah.
at best for the last
Yeah.
like 3 years because
Yeah.
of not having enough money. And then we'll be going to a grand total of £10 per week each for snacks.
There you go.
Yeah. And we're also going to be able to save money as well.
That's awesome. Honestly,
So
this is an amazing. This is going to be an amazing like chapter of your life, honestly, because I've been your friend long enough to see the struggles that you've had, and like not only like with the financial restrictions of everything, but also like the jobs not like panning out. And like, I mean, we had a whole episode on the bullshit that you've been dealing with trying to find a job, and now that you have one, having just that little bit of breathing room to be able to do a little bit more, it really is going to be huge. And I'm going to probably help you come up with like recipes that are going to help you pack on some weight and stuff, especially as you get into working out, because like that's gonna affect that metabolism even more. So I'll send you some good stuff. But unless you have any other saved rounds, that's all I've got. I was just rambling about, because I'm like sitting here like super sore and like needing to stretch and everything. And she's like, "Oh, what are we going to talk about for your episode today?" And it's like, I have no fucking clue. You know what? We're going to talk about the gym, because that's all I can think about right now. It's like overwhelming my mind with things. So that being said, this has been Underqualified and Over It.
If you've made it this far, that's on you.
We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day.